China's moon village a reality by 2035? What if I told you that in just over a decade, humans could be living on the moon? Not just visiting, living there. Building, working, maybe even starting families. Sounds like science fiction, right? But what if it's not? China has been dropping hints, big ones, about something extraordinary. A permanent lunar base, a moon village. And they're not just dreaming about it, they're building toward it. By 2035, this could be real. But how? Why? And what does this mean for us, for humanity's future among the stars? Welcome to KM's Celestial Journey, where we don't just look up at the sky, we explore it. Strap in, because today we're going to the moon. The dream of a moon village. For as long as humans have walked this earth, we have gazed up at the moon with wonder. That pale, luminous orb hanging in the night sky, mysterious, untouchable, taunting us with its silent presence. Ancient civilizations worshipped it as a god. Poets and lovers whispered to it as a confidant. Scientists studied it as a puzzle. And then in 1969, we touched it. Neil Armstrong's famous words, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind," echoed across history. For a brief, dazzling moment, the moon was ours. We walked on its surface. We left footprints in its dust. And then we left. Just like that, the greatest adventure in human history ended. The Apollo missions became relics of the past. The moon returned to being a distant dream. Space agencies turned their attention elsewhere: low Earth orbit, Mars, the outer solar system. The lunar surface fell silent once more. But now, everything is about to change. China is stepping forward with a vision so bold, so audacious, that it could redefine humanity's place in the cosmos. They're not just planning another fleeting visit. They're not content with planting flags and taking photos. No, they're talking about staying. A permanent human presence. A moon village. Imagine it. Structures rising from the gray, dusty plains. Solar panels glinting in the unfiltered sunlight. Astronauts, no, settlers working, living, thriving in a place where no human has ever stayed for more than a few days. Laboratories probing the moon's deepest secrets. Greenhouses nurturing plants in alien soil. Perhaps one day, children being born under an Earth-lit sky. This isn't science fiction. This isn't a fantasy. This is China's plan. And they're not just dreaming, they're building toward it. Piece by piece, mission by mission, year by year. But why? Why abandon the relative safety of Earth to live in a place so hostile, so deadly, that a single mistake could mean catastrophe? The answer is bigger than national pride, bigger than scientific curiosity, bigger even than the thrill of exploration. This is about the future of our species. The moon is more than just a rock in space. It's a stepping stone, a testing ground, a gateway. If humanity is ever to become a multi-planetary civilization, if we are to spread beyond Earth, to Mars and beyond, we must first conquer the moon. Its low gravity makes it the perfect launch pad for deeper space missions. Its resources, water ice, rare minerals, helium-3 could fuel entire industries. Its barren landscape offers a blank slate for the most ambitious experiments in off-world living. China understands this, and they are moving fast. While other nations debate budgets and timelines, China is acting. Their lunar missions, Chang'e 3, Chang'e 4, Chang'e 5, have been flawless. They've landed on the far side of the moon, a feat no other country has achieved. They've brought back lunar samples, proving they can retrieve what they need. And now they're talking about construction. Not just habitats, but entire infrastructure. Power systems, communication networks, maybe even roads. This isn't just about planting a flag and calling it a day. This is about claiming a future. But they won't be alone. Russia is already partnering with them on the International Lunar Research Station, ILRS. Other nations, perhaps even private companies, will follow. The moon is about to become the next great frontier of human activity. And yet, For all the excitement, the challenges are staggering. The moon is a killer. Solar radiation bombards its surface unchecked. Temperatures swing from blistering heat to Seoul, crushing cold in an instant. Micrometeorites rain down like bullets. One cracked seal, one failed system, and death comes swiftly. To survive there, to thrive there, will require technology we're only just beginning to develop. Self-healing materials, AI-driven maintenance systems, underground shelters carved from lava tubes, closed-loop life support that recycles every drop of water, every breath of air. China knows this, and they're investing billions to make it happen. But beyond the technical hurdles, there's something deeper at play. This is about legacy. Whoever establishes the first permanent presence on the moon will shape the rules of off-world existence. They will set the precedents. They will control the resources. This isn't just a scientific endeavor, it's a geopolitical one. And China intends to lead. So what does this mean for us? For the dreamers who stare at the moon and wonder, it means that within our lifetimes, we may witness something extraordinary. A new chapter in human history. A time when the moon is no longer a distant symbol, but a home. A place where humanity takes its first real steps toward the stars. The dream is alive. And it's closer than you think. China's lunar ambitions, the steps to 2035. The idea of a moon village isn't just some far-off fantasy. China has laid out a deliberate, step-by-step plan to turn this vision into reality. And when you break it down, it's both brilliant and terrifyingly ambitious. Phase 1, the foundation, 2021 to 2025, proving they can stay. Before you build a village, you need to know the land. China's not rushing in blindly. They're studying, testing, and preparing, because one wrong move on the moon, and there's no coming back. Chang'e 6, 2024, a mission to the moon's far side again. But this time, they're bringing back fresh samples. Not just rocks, but soil, dust, maybe even volatile compounds hidden in the shadows. Why? Because if you want to build, you need to know what you're building on. Chang'e 2, 2024, a new lunar relay satellite. Think of it as the moon's Wi-Fi tower. Without it, no communications, no data, no control. This is how China keeps its robots, and eventually, its people connected to Earth. Robotic Scouts 2025. Before humans arrive, machines will pave the way. Rovers with drills, landers with 3D printers. They'll test the soil, map the terrain, and maybe even start assembling the first basic structures. This phase is all about answers. Can we extract oxygen from lunar soil? Can we shield against radiation? Can we survive? Phase 2 construction begins 2026 to 2035, the rise of the machines. Now, things get real. China won't send astronauts to build the village, not at first. That's too risky. Instead, robots will do the heavy lifting. Autonomous rovers, 2026 to 2030, imagine bulldozers, but smarter. They'll level the ground, dig foundations, and even print walls using lunar concrete. Yes, that's a real thing. Some might live on the moon permanently, maintained by AI, waiting for the humans to arrive. Modular habitats, 2030 to 2035, pre-built units launched from Earth, then assembled on site. Think of it like IKEA in space, except if you mess up, you die. These won't be fancy, just functional. Radiation shielded, temperature controlled. Enough to keep a small crew alive for months. The first nuclear reactor, 2035, solar power won't cut it, not during the 2-week lunar night. So China's likely planning a small fission reactor. Compact, reliable, controversial. If they pull this off, they'll have uninterrupted power, a huge advantage. But here's the biggest challenge: supplies. Every nail, every bolt, every breath of oxygen, it either has to come from Earth or be made on the moon. And China's betting on the latter. ISRU, in situ resource utilization, fancy term for living off the land. Water extraction, Drill into shadowed craters, harvest ice, split it into hydrogen and oxygen. Metals from regolith. Melt lunar soil, extract iron, aluminum, maybe even print spare parts. Food production, hydroponics, lab-grown meat, maybe even insect farms. Yes, really. If they can crack this, the village becomes self-sustaining. And that changes everything. Phase 3, humans arrive. Post-2035, the village comes alive. The robots did their job. The power's on. The air is breathable. Now, it's our turn. The first crew, 2036, a small team. Scientists, engineers, maybe even a doctor. Their mission? Stay alive, test systems, expand the base, prove that humans can thrive here. Expansion, 2040s, more modules, greenhouses, workshops, maybe even a landing pad for visiting ships. The village grows, and with it, ambitions. The ultimate goal, a permanent presence. This isn't just a research station, it's the seed of something bigger. A lunar economy, mining operations, fuel depots for Mars missions, maybe even tourists. But here's the real question. Who controls it? China's playing the long game, and if they succeed, the moon won't just be our satellite anymore. It'll be theirs. The challenge is why a moon village isn't easy. Let's be brutally honest for a moment. Building a village on the moon isn't just ambitious, it's insanely difficult. We're not talking about a weekend camping trip here. This isn't setting up a tent in the woods. This is surviving in one of the most hostile environments imaginable. A place where everything wants to kill you. The cold, the heat, the lack of air, the radiation, the dust, even the gravity itself is working against you. So before we get too excited about sipping lunar coffee in a moon village by 2035, let's break down the nightmare of challenges standing in the way. 1. Radiation, the invisible death zone. On Earth, we take our atmosphere for granted. It's like a giant, invisible shield blocking out the worst of space's fury. Solar flares, cosmic rays, deadly radiation that would fry an unprotected human in hours. But the moon? No atmosphere, no magnetic field, no protection. You step outside without shielding, you're getting dosed with radiation levels hundreds of times higher than Earth. Long-term exposure means cancer, organ failure, a slow, painful death. And it's not just about the people. Electronics hate radiation too. One powerful solar storm could fry every circuit, every computer, every life support system in the base. Game over. How do we survive this? Underground bunkers? Bury the habitats beneath meters of lunar soil? Lava tubes? Natural tunnels left by ancient volcanic activity. Ready-made radiation shelters. Artificial shielding? Experimental materials that block cosmic rays. China's already scouting locations, but if they get this wrong, the moon village becomes a ghost town before it even opens. 2. Temperature extremes from boiling hell to frozen wasteland. Think the coldest winter or hottest summer on Earth is bad. The moon laughs at your pathetic temperature complaints. During the day, the surface hits a blistering 127 degrees Celsius, 260 degrees Fahrenheit. Hot enough to boil water, if there was any. Metals expand. Electronics overheat. Solar panels melt. Then night falls. Temperatures plummet to minus 173 degrees Celsius, minus 280 degrees Fahrenheit. Colder than Antarctica. Colder than liquid nitrogen. Metals become brittle. Machinery seizes up. Batteries die. And here's the real kicker. A lunar day lasts 2 weeks. That means 14 days of relentless heat, followed by 14 days of soul-crushing cold. How do we survive this? Nuclear power? Solar won't cut it during those long, dark nights. Thermal regulation systems? Super efficient insulation and heat redistribution. Underground again? The deeper you go, the more stable the temperature. But one system failure, and the moon village turns into a freezer or an oven. 3. Lunar dust, the silent killer. You know that soft, powdery moon dust in the Apollo footage? It's not soft. It's not harmless. Lunar regolith is jagged, like tiny shards of glass. It clings to everything: spacesuits, machinery, solar panels. It grinds into joints, scratches lenses, clogs air filters. And because there's no wind or water to smooth it, it stays sharp forever. Worse, it's electrostatically charged from solar radiation. It levitates, gets into everything. Breathe it in? It's like inhaling asbestos. Your lungs will hate you. Solutions? Maybe. Special airlocks? Dust cleaning systems before re-entering habitats. Advanced suits? Materials that repel lunar dust. Sealed machinery? No exposed moving parts. But if we don't solve this, the moon village will be choking on its own environment. 4. Gravity, the silent saboteur. The moon's gravity is 1/6 of Earth's. Sounds fun, right? Floating around like an astronaut. Except, muscles atrophy. Without resistance, your body wastes away. Bones weaken. Lunar settlers could return to Earth as fragile as glass. Fluids shift. Blood pools, eyes swell, hearts struggle. And we don't know what long-term low gravity does to human reproduction. Could babies even develop properly? Possible fixes? Artificial gravity? Spinning habitats. But that's complicated. Rigorous exercise? Like the ISS, but way more intense. Drugs? Experimental meds to slow bone or muscle loss. But if we ignore this, the moon village could be full of permanently disabled settlers. 5. Resources. Can we really live off the land? Shipping everything from Earth is insanely expensive. A single bottle of water could cost thousands in fuel alone. So the moon village must use local resources. But water? Traces in polar ice, but extraction is untested at scale. Oxygen? Locked in rocks, needs massive energy to extract. Building materials? Maybe 3D printed from lunar soil, but how? And if supply chains fail, the village starves or suffocates. 6. Psychology, the mental toll of isolation. Imagine. No sunsets, no breeze, no horizon, just a tiny, cramped habitat. The same few people for years, no escape. Communication delays, a 3-second lag just to say hello to Earth. Loneliness, depression, madness. History proves it. Polar explorers, submariners, even ISS astronauts break under isolation, and the moon is far worse. Can we prevent a lunar mental health crisis? Virtual reality? Simulated Earth environments? Strict routines? Keep minds occupied. Therapy bots? AI psychologists? But if we neglect this, the moon village could become a lunatic asylum. Literally. Why 2035? The bigger picture. This isn't just about science or pride. It's about the future. Economic potential, mining, tourism, maybe even manufacturing in low gravity. Military strategy. Whoever controls the moon controls the high ground of space. Mars preparation. The moon is the perfect testing ground for deeper space missions. China knows this, and they're moving. What this means for humanity. Imagine a bustling lunar outpost, scientists, engineers, maybe even families, a new branch of human civilization just 3 days from Earth. But will it be peaceful? Or will it spark a new space race? Or worse, a conflict? The US has Artemis. Europe has Visions. Private companies like SpaceX are racing. The moon is about to get crowded. Final thoughts, the countdown to 2035. So will China really have a moon village by 2035? The pieces are in place. The technology almost there. The will? Absolutely. But space is hard. Politics shift. Budgets change. One thing's for sure, something big is coming. And when it does, humanity will never be the same. What do you think? Will we see lunar cities in our lifetime? Or is this just another dream, lost in the stars? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget, the journey is just beginning. This is KM Celestial Journey, signing off. Look up, because the future is closer than you think.